Hi guys, it's Tiffany here, and I'm doing my meal prep today. It's Sunday, and so today I'm doing my meal preps using mason jars. It's a really cool new trend that is coming out for meal preps, and so I wanted to show you guys how I do it. So this is one that I've already made. It has the dressing, cucumbers, tomatoes, lettuce, chicken, cheese, and sunflower seeds in this one. So I'm going to make a couple of different ones quickly to show you guys how fast and easy it is to do this kind of meal prep. So I use mason jars that are wide mouth and quart size. So that's 32 ounces because it seems to give a good amount of everything. And when you eat it like a salad, it is like a full portion salad. So when you take the top off, what makes these really cool is that they have the seal here, which keeps them really fresh. So when you make it on Sunday, they'll be good all week long in your refrigerator until you're ready to eat it. So you start off, the first layer is always going to be your salad dressing. You put that on the bottom just because you don't want it to reach up to the top, and that's where you're going to put your lettuce, and you don't want your lettuce to get soggy. So you put your salad dressing on the top. On the bottom. That's your first layer. And you can make your own salad dressing, but I still use store-bought low-fat salad dressing from Kraft. And this is a balsamic vinaigrette just because it's easier for me. I don't really have the time to make homemade salad dressing, but if you do, go for it. So I'm going to put in cucumbers in this one. The second layer after you do the salad dressing are going to be your hearty vegetables. That's things like cucumbers and tomatoes, broccoli, things that are going to taste good if you were to soak it in salad dressing. So it's things that you could marinate or things like vegetables like that. So in one I'm putting tomatoes and cucumbers, in the other I'm putting broccoli. And this one, okay, so that should be enough. So now the third layer would be other vegetables that would not do so well in salad dressing. So in this one, I'm going to add a little bit of corn. So this would be vegetables like corn, green beans, things that it's okay if the salad dressing does touch it, but it's better if it does not. I'm actually going to add a little bit of tomatoes into this one too, where I put the broccoli. Okay, so I'm also, you know what, I'm going to put some bell peppers and red peppers in there as well. And that's the cool thing about this is you can get as creative and mix as many different things as you would like in there. Bell peppers and red peppers could really go on the second layer because they could be soaked in the dressing and be okay. Your fourth layer is going to be your protein or your cheeses. Or, I'm sorry, your fourth layer is going to be pasta. Sorry. So I normally don't put pasta in mine, but if you do put pasta or rice or like quinoa or things like that, it would go in this layer. I'm going to actually add some rice to this one because I'm going to make this one like a shrimp salad. So I think a little bit of brown rice would be cool in there. So a little bit of brown rice. This is also where you would put your beans. If you want to add beans, so I'm going to add beans to this one. Okay, and now you're going to do your protein or cheeses. So in this one, like I said, I'm going to add some shrimp. So your proteins are your meats and cheeses. And in this one, I'm going to add some chicken, which I have back here on my stove. And meal prepping, when you do it right, does not take a long time. It took me maybe about 30 minutes to do the prep work for all of this, to cut up all the vegetables, cut up the meat, cook the meat, all those different things. So it really does not take a long time when you plan it out correctly and do it correctly. All right, and so I'm not gonna add cheese to this one, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of cheese to this one. Just a little bit. And then you're going to add your lettuce or your greens. So that's going to go at the top, because if it does tip over, say you're carrying it in your lunchbox and it does tip over, if it gets, if the salad dressing reaches to the top, it won't reach that much because you have all these other barriers of foods that it has to go through before it gets to the salad dressing, before it gets to the lettuce, which is why the lettuce goes at the top. So I'm just gonna stuff my lettuce in there. I'm using spinach, using a spring mix. So it's spinach, baby spinach, and spring lettuce. All right. And then if you want to add some sunflower seeds or almonds or anything like that, that would go at this layer. So on this one, I'm going to add a little bit of sunflower seeds. All right. So then once you're done, all you have to do is close the top here with your lid and then squeeze that other lid on tight. And you are done. So I just made 2 of my meals for this week in the matter of just seconds. Sorry, okay, not seconds, but in the matter of minutes. Literally, it's only been maybe 5 minutes. So I now have 3 meals. I made this one before I started recording, but it again only took me a couple of minutes to make it as well. So I'm gonna keep making these, and I'll come back and show you guys all the different ones that I created. Stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm back, and I am done with prepping my meals for the entire week. In front of me, I have every single thing that I plan on eating for this week right here, ready to go with no more cooking, nothing. So it's taken me about 2.5 hours of preparing to get ready for this week. So that includes my time that I spent in the grocery store shopping, the time that I spent cooking, the things that needed to be cooked, and the time that it spent me to package and put everything into where it's supposed to go. So once you get better at it, if you're taking a really long time to meal prep, it's probably because you're not planning properly how to cook and cut different things. Like while my meats are cooking, I'm cutting. So that way it makes it a lot shorter of a time frame. But I have everything ready. So for breakfast, I will be having boiled eggs. I actually made my boiled eggs in the oven this week, and they turned out awesome. So what I did is I put them in a cupcake tin, and I set the oven to 350, put them in for about 25 to 30 minutes, and then put them in ice cold bowl of water to stop the cooking process, and they came out amazing. So that's probably how I'll be doing my boiled eggs from now on. But after I typically have breakfast, I drink a Shakeology shake. If you're not drinking Shakeology, or if you've never tried Shakeology, guys, you need to get this. This is unlike any other shake that you have ever tried. This is not just a protein shake that you drink after working out. This is a nutrition shake. It's a meal replacement, so it's used to replace one of your meals. So it's used to replace a snack or a lunch or a breakfast or whatever you choose to use it for. It's a meal replacement. And it's a meal replacement because it has so many vitamins and nutrients in it that it's not just a protein shake. So it's not just something that you're supposed to drink after you finish working out like most of the other shakes on the market are. So you need to get Shakeology. You need to look it up. Let me know if you want more information on Shakeology, but you need this. I've also already packaged the fruits and things that I plan on blending my Shakeology with to make my shakes. I have my snacks for the days like apples, bananas, and grapes ready to go. I have, of course, my mason jar meals. So you guys saw me make a couple of the mason jar meals earlier, but I also wanted to show you guys some things that I came up with as I was making them. So I am a huge Chipotle fan, and I love Chipotle. So as I was making it, I realized that I had everything that I would use to make a Chipotle bowl with me. So I made this. So this one doesn't have dressing in it, but it's like what you would get if you went to Chipotle and got a bowl. So it has the brown rice, black beans, chicken, corn, pico de gallo, lettuce, cheese. So all the different things that I would typically put in my Chipotle bowl, I made into a mason jar meal. Aside from other salads, I also made one that has green beans, rice, and fish in it, tilapia, for more of a not so salady meal, something that's a little bit more hearty. But I did put it in the mason jar just because I know it does keep the meat and everything so fresh for so long. I also included eggs. I put one of the boiled eggs in one of the mason jar meals. So I kind of tried to mix things up so that I wouldn't be eating the same thing all the time. And I typically don't get bored when I meal prep and I have, very similar things. But I'm really excited about this week to try some things a little bit differently. I'll be sure to keep you guys posted and let you know how it goes. The way I plan on eating my mason jar meals really quickly is I'm going to bring a big bowl to work with me and just leave it there and wash it out every day. And when it's time for me to eat, I'm just going to dump the whole container of the mason jar into the bowl, so that way I'm not trying to like dig my fork and to get to the bottom of the mason jar all the time. So that way it I can mix everything up in the bowl, make sure the salad dressing gets on all of it, and so that's how I plan on eating it. So I'm so glad that you guys tuned in. I hope you learned something. I hope you're ready for this week. I am so ready to get back on track, because if you've been keeping up with me, last week was a really rough week for me. I did not meal prep last week, and so I was off all last week. I was going to fast food places, picking up things on the way home, eating chips and things like that, and it was just awful. I felt awful. My body was tired. I felt sick. It was just not a good week. So I'm really glad that I went ahead and meal prep this week, and I'm ready to get back on track and get back to doing things the way that I'm supposed to be doing them and treating my body the way it's supposed to be treated, so it can treat me well back. If you're not meal prepping, you need to start meal prepping. You need to start preparing yourselves, because if you aren't prepared, you're going to end up like I was last week. So meal prepping is super important. Eating clean is super important. If you have questions, I would be happy to answer them. Let me know what you guys think. And